It seemed to Conan that through his sweat-blinded eyes he saw a rising ocean of steel that seethed and eddied, filling the valley from ridge to ridge. The battle was at a bloody deadlock. Hillmen held the ridges, mercenaries gripping their dripping pikes, braced their feet in the bloody earth, holding the pass. Superior position and armor for space balanced the advantage of overwhelming numbers. But it could not endure. Wave after wave of glaring faces and flashing spears surged up the slopes, assuredly filling the gaps in the Stygian ranks as they fell. Conan looked to see Almric's lances rounding the western ridge, but they did not come, and the pikemen began to reel back under the shock. Conan abandoned all hope of victory or life. Yelling a command at his gasping captains, he broke away and raced across the plateau to the Coraja reserves, who stood trembling with their eagerness for battle. He did not glance toward Yasmilla's pavilion. He had forgotten the princess. His one thought was the wild beast instinct to slay before he died. This day you become knights, he laughed fiercely, pointing his dripping sword to the hillmen's steeds, which stood corralled. Mount and follow me to hell. The hill steed reared wildly under the unfamiliar clash of Gothic armor, and Conan's gusty laugh rose above the battle. As he led them to where the eastern ridge branched away from the plateau, 500 footmen, pauper patricians, younger sons, black sheep on half-wild Shemite horses, charging an army down the slope where no cavalry had ever dared charge before. Past the battle-choked mouth of the pass they thundered, onto a corpse-littered ridge. Down the slope they rushed, and a score lost their footing and rolled under the hoofs of their comrades. Below, men screamed and threw up their arms, and a thundering charge ripped through them. as an avalanche tears through a forest of saplings. On through the close-packed thongs of the courage he hurtled, leaving a crushed-down carpet of the dead. Then, as the horde writhed and coiled upon itself, Almric's lances, having cut through a cordon of horsemen encountered in the outer valley, swept round the extremity of the western ridge and smote the host in a steel-tipped wedge, splitting it asunder. His attack carried all the dazing demoralization of a surprise in the rear, thinking themselves flanked by superior force and frenzied at the fear of being cut off from the desert. Swarms of nomads broke and stampeded, wreaking havoc in the ranks of their more steadfast comrades. These staggered, and horsemen rode through them. Upon the ridges, desert fighters wavered, and the hillmen fell on them with renewed fury, driving them down the slopes. Stunned by surprise, the horde broke before it had time to see that it was but a handful that assailed them. And once broken, not even a magician could wield the horde together again. Across a sea of heads and spears, Conan's madmen saw Almric's riders forging steadily through the rout to the rise and fall of axes and maces. The mad joy of victory exalted them with joy and turned their limbs to steel.